Well, we could obviously do with an inquiry into what happened in the care homes, couldn't we? The first thing to say, folks, is if you're here just first time, thanks for coming along. My name is Paddy Hogg. Hopefully all the speakers are introducing themselves. And one of the key things we need to do now that we know we have a movement that is growing, thanks to Ronnie Whittaker and to Anthony for the different groups that they've set up and encouraging people to come here and to make this grow. There are meetings in Inverness, there are meetings in Edinburgh, and I believe there's other places where people are starting to awaken and realise that we have been conned, manipulated and used at the highest levels. This group here, quite a few weeks ago, was blasted as a bunch of right-wing nut jobs in the press and stuff in the media and on YouTube. It's there to watch. A bunch of right-wing nut jobs. Now, I have been active in politics since the 80s. Some of you probably weren't born in that time. And I've marched with various people for various causes. And I've always been there helping someone else's cause to let them get into a job. So that sooner or later, like Mr. McConnell, he would take the King's shilling and become a Lord in the House of Lords. Jack McConnell, former First Minister, once said to me when we were students, when I asked him the question, what is it you stand for in terms of principles? And he punched his chest 3 times, me, and me. Well, I say to Jack and to everyone here, from the heart, I have no price. I want no title. And I am not scared to leave the little populist dome that politicians live in. The media create that dome. A CIA guy once said, we construct reality. Now that reality of the media world is one that is literally created to effectively control us. And we have seen the malicious footprint of that propaganda from the BBC, from the fear that they engendered, and the way they've been trying to control this so-called virus pandemic. So, in building the movement, the things we need to do are, it's grassroots, it's coming from the bottom, it's coming from people's realisation that we have been conned, it's coming from the realisation of the heart that we are not in the right place. When our country finds all of our nurses, doctors, care home workers, people in shops having to wear masks, when slowly they are realising these masks damage your health. It's in PubMed. This is not rumour. This is not the imagined madness of a bunch of right-wing crackpots standing here. We represent the awakening people of Scotland. And there is going to be more and more people joining us. We need brothers and sisters to welcome them with open arms. No more saying they're sheep. We need to embrace the reality that they're confused. We need to embrace the reality that they have been scared by what I would consider to be now a United Nations pulsed form of terrorism and propaganda, with all the paid hacks from Gates down to Professor Ferguson, Whitty, the whole lot of them. Every one of them has a conflict of interest, and every one of them should pay by the law and by justice. Most of them should be arrested. So we need to point out to our fellow brothers and sisters that we are not the irresponsible ones. There is no, under the signs, look at the Nobel laureates. The COVID-19 virus was, if you look at some of the signs, manufactured and then released. This is a massive exercise of control by the UN in order at various levels for them to take top-down control. It's not just in the papers of the Rockefeller Institute lockstep. It's in the recent statement of the United Nations General Secretary when he says the future requires more system-wide governance at a higher level. System-wide means every nation under the United Nations. And that means that as long as the Scottish Government that we elected, as long as they follow in lockstep what they are doing, is aiding and abetting Agenda 21. Let's speak the truth. Let's speak the truth here. Agenda 21 is a depopulation agenda. Depopulation, spell it out, means killing and murdering a massive amount of human beings. Why? Because they believe falsely that CO2 and climate change is sooner or later, 40, 50 years, going to kill off humanity and destroy life on the planet. So in order, this is their logic, in order to save humanity, their intention is mass murder. On a scale 1,000-fold worse than Adolf Hitler ever committed. So our task now is to realise in 2020, 700 years after the declaration of our growth, we must all find the strength within us to stand up, to speak out, to speak on the basis of the science and the truth, and communicate with those who think us the irresponsible ones. I, for one, several months ago, had there been a deadly virus that was going to kill lots and lots of people, as Ferguson suggested, I would have worn a mask if I had been one, and I would have advocated responsibly, as a local councillor, that everyone should wear masks. I've checked the science inside out. And I wouldn't risk one of the citizens or the people that I have charged to protect as a local representative. And I call upon all of the politicians at Westminster once again to stand up for the rights of the Scottish people. Recently read some comments from the intelligentsia of the Scottish left. I know most of them. And to call the people gathering here a bunch of right-wing nuts linked with different organisations to the right is ridiculous. We are pointing, let's say there's a few Marxists among you here. Well, let me tell you, what is the power of capital? When it gathers global footprint powerful enough to buy the UN and then influence the WHO to treat us the way they have done. That is the power of capital. If you're on the left, wake up for fuck's sake and come with us, because I'm infuriated what they're doing and the fact that you are sitting doing fuck all. Sorry to get angry, but this is outrageous what is going on here. It is bloody outrageous. The left are sitting doing nothing, and they have the nerve, people like Robin McAlpine, to dare call us a bunch of nutters. I am calling Robin McAlpine out. You're the guy who says we're a bunch of nutters, and yet you wanted an independent Scotland to have its own stock exchange, man, for Christ's sake. A stock exchange is a gambling casino where money makes money and greed develops, and the more money that's sucked up to the top, the more homelessness, the more poverty, the more broken families. Get it into your heads on the left. We here stand on humanitarian values and we will not budge. The sword is on the ground. We know there's a war going on and we are the bloody casualties. Time to wake up, Scotland. It's time to wake up. I'm going to finish off with, I'm making no apologies for getting angry, because these people will not patronise us. The enemy is not Boris Johnson. He's a clown, for Christ's sake. An aristocratic, posh clown. He is not the enemy. The English are no longer our enemy. It's time for us to stand up. And I ask everyone here, when you go home, bring next week 2 more people here. And go to Edinburgh. Contact your friends. Spread the word. We will be marching on Holyrood, and we will be going there when that place reopens. We want our voices to be heard for those who are meant to represent us. I want to finish off with the words. I want to ask people, because I've done it, and the words are lying across there. I'll do it next week when I'm fit to do it. The Declaration of Arbroath was written in 1320. It asserted the right, not just of our king, to be recognised by the Pope, seen as the Viceroy of Christ on earth, but it asserted the right of the people that when our King Robert the Bruce ever subverted the rights of the people, that we would kick him out and get another one. I'm laying a warning to the foot of our First Minister. Do not forget, the people are sovereign, Nicola. The people are sovereign. And we still are, and we will assert our claim of right. That you and your politicians listen to us, and you do the stuff that protects the people of Scotland. The people of Scotland need protection from the UN. We need protection from the WHO and the lies and propaganda from the BBC. Everyone here, do not pay your licence fee. Yes. It's time to kick the BBC out for the lies and propaganda. So I'm going to ask people, come back here if you feel like doing this, because I'll be doing it next week. Rewrite the Declaration of Arbroath to suit 2020. Rewrite the Declaration of Arbroath, because Scotland is waking up. Here are some of the words. For as long as but 100 of us remain alive, never will we, under any condition, be brought under the rule, changing some words here, of the power cabal, the New World Order. It is in truth not for glory, nor riches, nor honour that we are fighting, but for our very freedom. For that alone, which no honest man nor woman gives up, but with life itself. Amen.